Hello and welcome to the Field Radio Podcast. My name is John Jacobs, W7DBO. Thank you for clicking and tuning in. This is my Field Day 2020 recap video. This year, like many, we were challenged to be creative and flexible in working a field day not in large groups or not on land that may be still not available, depending on where you live. With this challenge, the ARRL made some new rules to accommodate, and from what I experienced, it changed field day into just another contest weekend where normally weak or low power stations avoid and take the weekend off. For my limited operating time, I heard a bunch of alligator booming stations that repeatedly would call CQ, then a slew of stations answering, but the big stations not hearing them. I heard parts of the United States I normally do not hear coming in strong, but they could not hear me or many others calling back. I watched a video from Stuart Thomas KB1HQS that spoke about how QRP guys on field day struggle with the noise of all the other stations. I felt that same way this year, being a compromised low-power station and not at my home on my 40-foot tower. More about that tower later. With pre-existing family plans, my operating time was limited. I got up to the mountain a little after the start and got the station set up. My station consisted of an ICOM 7200, Chameleon MPass 2 antenna system, BioNO 40 amp-hour battery, and a laptop to run N3 FJP logging software, WSJT-X, and FLDigi. The night before, I tested my software connections to make sure everything was ready to go. The total setup time on the mountain was less than an hour. My son and I got started setting up and used the remote drone release clip to drop an arborist weight over the top of a tree, then hoisted the long wire up in an inverted V configuration. These orange tent stakes worked well to note where my lines were, but I wish I would have brought some orange marking tape to warn people around an antenna line close to the ground. Driving the stake into the ground was pretty easy. Then I put the antenna on and the 4 radial counterpoise wires to the ground stake, and once again these orange stakes helped well to know where the end of the line was. I really do like how Chameleon has put winders on all of their products to make this a quick and easy task of deploying the lines. Once we all got hooked up and ready to go, the clouds and thunder in the distance came in right over the top of us. So we shut down, disconnected the antenna, and waited for the lightning to pass. We got on the air, made some contacts on single sideband voice, a few FT8 field day contacts, which was a first for me. Then more lightning rolled in. After a few hours of realizing the storms were only getting stronger, our time on the mountain and Field Day 2020 were in the books. Upon arriving home, I discovered that we had a pretty major windstorm also at the house. My NA4RR hex beam snapped at the base of the post. It has held up to some pretty strong storms in the past, with well over 60 mile-per-hour gusts. But the one that hit Sunday afternoon was much bigger. We had lawn furniture tossed over 40 feet away, and an easy up that was weighted down that got shredded. So this year was a challenge for sure. The drone deploy worked great, no software issues like others had reported, and the only struggle was having the time to operate without weather and logging more contacts. Looking to next year's plans, if ARRL keeps these same contesting rules in place, Field Day will happen a week earlier for me, where I can get out on the mountains, test equipment, hone my skills of operating, log some contacts, and leave behind the traffic jam of regular Field Day. Until next time, hope to hear you on the air. This is W7DBO 73.